I have a guest who is seated already. He's a legal practitioner and a public affairs analyst, Joshua Abolagba. He'll be joining me this morning. Let's take a critical look at the current fuel scarcity. It seems there is no end in sight with the whole back and forth. Today there is fuel, tomorrow there is no fuel. NNPCL is saying they have enough storage, but we're not seeing it out there. So some persons are buying fuel for as high as 900, 950, 1,000. The black market are cashing out 1,200 depending on your location where you're buying. So my guest will be joining me to take an insight into all of this morning. Good morning, Joshua.
Yeah, good morning, Mr.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right. May 29th, in the next couple of days, it will be exactly 1 year that we've been in this whole turbulence of fuel subsidy is gone. We were told that when the subsidy is removed, the product will be made available no matter what the cost is. So immediately after that pronouncement was made by the president, some persons started selling 600, 500, 700, depending. But at a point, we saw it at a stable rate of 500, 600. But lately, we're now seeing people selling PMS for 900, 950, 1,000, depending on where you're buying, the city and the location. What are some of the issues about this whole back and forth with a country that is blessed with these abundant resources? We don't go to other countries to bring in crude. Neither do we go. The only thing they said we do is we take it out to refine and bring it back. Why should we be in this turmoil at this point in time as Nigerians?
Yes, thank you very much. One thing about the Nigerian society is that it has oftentimes been bedeviled by lack of accountability. And not just talking about lack of accountability on the part of the leaders, but even also the citizenry.
Absolutely.
Because first of all, we're talking about the fuel scarcity with regards to the price going up, the inflation and everything. Very many persons rely on a part of petroleum product, which is the premium motor spirit.
That is the highest we use.
That's what we popularly call
fuel.
Yes, premium motor spirit. For fueling cars, generators, and every
bike.
Household, every household now needs to have a alternative power source, which is a generator, or a solar system. But most persons can afford the generator, popularly known as a better pass. So the lack of the availability of the petrol or premium motor spirit now tends to create a difficulty. And the problem is that the difficulty that we are facing, it can be said to be man-made, and that's the painful aspect of it. Because if it were to be that maybe we had things that maybe we saw that our level of production has dropped due to the fact that the crude oil in the ground is depleting or something like that, then we'll say, okay, it is nature.
Okay.
But now this is human cost, scarcity. Because the fact that we have the independent marketers talking about the fact that...
Or could we also call it hoarding?
It can be something like that.
Okay.
The problem is that most times, like I keep on saying it, humans in general, Nigerians in particular, we tend to try to make bricks business with every difficulty that the country faces.
Yeah, absolutely, that's true.
And that is a mindset that we as Nigerians have to, remove from our mind as individuals and as citizens. Because first of all, our loyalty is to the country.
The nation
so
Nigeria.
If we have that at the back of our mind, that no matter what is happening, I as a Nigerian should try as possible to make life easy for the next person, then we'll be able to do things right. So going back to the issue on board, the lack of the availability of premium motor spirits, especially, it has caused a lot of pains and troubles. One thing about the premium motor spirit is that where there is, where there's scarcity or the price has gone up, it affects everything.
Everything.
And even those things that normally it should not affect, it will affect them secondarily. Why? Because first of all, imagine somebody, I know when people say, no, this particular person is selling mango, you just go pluck up from tree. Why go increase
price of mango?
But you are forgetting that that person who is going to sell that mango, even if he plucks it from the tree in his compound,
have to transport
he's going to transport it
to the market.
And the transportation, they will not tell you because you pluck the mango from tree, so it might help you transport it free.
Okay.
No. So you are going to make payments. So those are the things that they now imbue into the cost of sale.
Okay.
And so by the time you now start talking about that now, it now brings about a fact whereby you have the prices that are so exorbitant, and then so many persons cannot even afford it. Imagine a bike rider who buys fuel for 700, 800, now 1,000 naira.
1,000 naira.
How do you expect him to make ends meet? And then he has to pay his children's school fees. He has to pay house rent. Especially
now that it's school fees period.
Yes. And then this is rainy season. Yeah. He will have to ride in the rain and then beaten by the rain. And then later on, he will have to treat for cold and all those kind of things.
Malaria,
and then you go to the pharmacy and go to the chemist. Most of the pharmaceutical companies have packed out of Nigeria due to the lack
harsh
of
economic
system.
Situation.
So many companies have left Nigeria due to this issue. And so if you are saying no, if you just fuel, the person that is selling this should not increase his price because he's not really using petrol or using premium motor spirits, then you are not being truthful to yourself. Okay. Because no matter how you look at it, okay, even if you are saying the person just goes only to church or to work, he's going to use transport system.
Absolutely. Definitely.
There's a limit to where you can trek to. Yeah. So imagine you even say, okay, let me even trek halfway and then enter the vehicle halfway. The trekking that you have trekked, by the time you pay for the other half, it will amount to the whole transportation.
Even in some cases, when you trek halfway, you still end up paying the same transport fare. Especially in cities like this where we're living in.
Earlier. Yeah. So you see that at the end of the day, there are so many issues that we actually need to tackle. And the government needs to put its foot on ground to ensure that there is the implementation of a standardized price
for this product.
Yes, for this product. So that, but then again, you cannot force someone to say sell at a standardized price when to get the product is taking so long. The independent marketers, they have to queue up at the refineries, queue up at where they get the product. The product, they queue up for days. And when you even see some of these truck drivers who go to take the products, you pity them because these men who are family men, they sleep under their trucks for days on end. There's hold up there. If you've ever been to
I have.
There's hold up there. You see tankers, they are just trying to just get. If even some of them, in their mind, they are going to get products of the 3,000 liters. That's the
that's the highest of it all. And then you are giving them 12,000 or 15,000.
And then again, they are coming back with maybe 20,000. I know sometimes they rent these trucks.
Yeah, they do.
So imagine someone that rents a truck for so and so million or hundreds of thousands, and then in his mind, I'm going to get a product, this amount of product, so that I can sell and then recoup, pay staffs
and all
that, taxes and other things, and then at the end of the day, you are giving them half of what they are supposed to get. Okay. So in order for them to make ends meet, they increase the prices, and then the masses are the ones that bear the brunt of this increase.
At the end of the day.
So no matter how we look at it, the government has to do something. It's 1 year. It's 1 year. So
in the next couple of days, it will be 1 year.
1 year. So we need to see proactive measures being put in place to assuage the sufferings of the masses.
Okay. Now, with this whole biting economic situation, coupled with the school fees era, parents watching right now, a lot of parents are already biting their fingers. How will they be able to cope? Because in some homes, whether you like it or not, like you said earlier, it's either you have a generating set or you have solar system. And these parents, most of the times, they will always want to put on their generating set, maybe because of the kids, because the children will always tell you they want to watch cartoons, and you have to meet their need as a father or as a mother. Then the school fees is there. How do you intertwine this whole hardship being faced currently with someone who is earning little, paying school fees, buying fuel, meeting the home demand on daily basis? Do you think there's any way the government of the day, whether the federal, the state, or at all level, can actually help to mitigate against this whole plight of a lot of persons out there?
Yes, with regards to trying to mitigate the hardship that the masses are facing. Recently, the minimum wage was increased
by the state government of Edo State. Yes, not generally anyway.
By the state government, and the federal government said they are working towards it. But the Labour Congress kicked against it because they said what they want
is higher than what the governor said.
What the governor said, and what even the president.
And even what the governor said cannot even still take you home. Let's be realistic.
But one thing again that you should know is that despite the fact that it might not be able to take you home, but it is better than what it was before.
Like one of my friends will always say, half bread is better than food chin-chin.
It depends on how
the chin-chin looks like, all right.
Yes, so it depends on how the chin-chin is. But then again, coming back to what we are discussing, the government has to do things. And one thing I always say, most persons just believe that the increment of salaries would put a stop to the suffering.
Exactly. That is the mindset.
If I'm earning 20,000 before and then it's increased to 200,000, then I'll be well off.
Yeah.
But you should know that by the time you are earning 20,000 and you are trying to survive, to buy some things, there are some things that you will not even, cast your mind to. For example, you're earning 20,000 naira. Yeah. You would, even if your suit is torn, you will sew it.
Definitely.
You don't get money to buy now.
Yeah.
But by the time you're earning 70,000, 80,000, you might not say, okay, this is my suit.
I want to change it.
Let me change it. Then by the time you change it, so you want to get a suit. And
the higher what you earn, the higher the demand of what you need. So I get the economic factor.
No matter how we look at it, that you say, okay, the salary is increased. What we need is a standardized system in the economy. So that persons who earn so and so amount will be able to live.
Can live well
within their means.
Within their means, absolutely.
So someone that earns 200,000, he will still be able to pay his house rent as our when due.
Absolutely.
And then buy fuel, buy things that are needed. The problem is that now in Nigeria, most persons are not even, living, quote unquote, the good life.
Absolutely. Everybody is just surviving on a daily basis. Yeah.
Okay, want to buy something, okay, go market,
just buy what the money can buy.
Cup of rice, buy this cup of beans, come and cook it. By the next week, the thing is almost finished.
You go again.
You go again, you restock Small like that.
Just like that. Just trying to survive.
This was not how Nigeria used to be.
This wasn't how Nigeria used to be. Yeah.
Back then, persons could buy a bag of rice, 7,000 something.
Even 6,000, I remember.
Even
this fear we're talking about was sold at the time 65 naira.
And the funny thing is that even as young as we both are, we can still remember.
We can recall.
These are not just tales that were told to us.
No, we witnessed it.
When we used to go and get premium motor spirits for 65
naira.
So you can imagine, within 65 naira, it's not even up to 20 years.
It's not up to 20 years. No, I don't think it's up to 15 years.
And from 65 naira, we are talking about
900, 1,000.
1,000. It doesn't all go well for the persons in the nation. Yeah. And besides, we should know that the globe is actually in a financial quagmire as it stands.
Absolutely, yeah.
The United Kingdom recently stated that they will not be allowing persons who are coming into school
to bring in their deponent.
They have said that before.
They said that before.
The latest one now is that they will not allow those who are coming to do postgraduate at the first level, that's masters.
Masters.
What they will not allow is PhD. Do you know what that means? They are looking for more money. First of all, you should know that even in the United Kingdom, it is education that drives their economy.
Yeah.
And most of when we're talking about education that drives the economy, many persons in Nigeria are the ones that actually finance that sector.
Absolutely.
Because everyone wants to get a degree from the United Kingdom. So now they are talking about the fact that they will no longer be accepting postgraduate at the first level, that's master.
So it's only PhD, your doctorate can be allowed.
That's the doctorate a big blow. Quite expensive.
Absolutely,
more expensive
it is.
Master's degree. Yeah. And it takes longer time with research and other things.
All that.
So they are just trying to make money. So Nigeria should look inwards and find things that will be, relatable, so that Nigeria can produce, internal generated revenue.
Yeah.
That will help in assuaging the sufferings of the masses. And then again, it is not just only about having these things in place.
Yeah.
When we have them in place, the implementation should be,
transparent
and also should be scrutinized. Because imagine you are infusing $1 billion into a particular sector, and then persons are there siphoning.
Just like the way they told us they used some billions to print some millions by the past administration of Godwin Emefiele.
And now you are talking about, His Excellency talked about that.
Yeah.
Godwin Nogegase, Governor of Edo State, he talked about that this thing is going to cause problem at the long run.
And it's already doing that.
You see. So these are some of the things I was talking about.
Okay.
Before you take some policies, you should relate with those who are, authorities in that sphere. You understand?
Yeah.
So in as much as we are trying to say, okay, you are talking about this particular aspect, I cannot come here today and be talking about engineering, the engineering aspect of petroleum production.
Yeah.
I'm not.
That's not your field.
That's not my field.
Absolutely.
The best I can do is, as a lawyer, have a panoramic view of all these kind of things. And that's why I can talk about
it. And you profile your ideas.
Yes. Because you do oil and gas law.
Yeah.
So all these are the kind of things I'm talking about. But you should not now say because you don't like somebody or because you don't like the person is not
a member of your political party,
then you just throw away any idea he brings. No. We are all Nigerians, and whatever anyone says that is good should be taken, so that at the end of the day, every Nigerian will be able to enjoy the country.
All right. So quickly, before we wrap up, because we're pressed for time right now, so we can go on a break for the news update at 9:30. What would be your general advice for homes right now, because a lot of homes are really passing through hard times. Let's not lie. Yes. They are passing through hard. A carton of Indomie, you and I know how much is being sold right now. And these are some of the meals that kids are actually fond of eating. Yes. No, imagine a parents having like 4 children, for instance, because me, I'm not an advocate of you having more than 2 or 3 right now because the economy is tough. Yeah. You know, so your parents having like 4 children, have to pay school fees for the 4 of them. You're buying PMS for 1,200 at the black market or 1,000 or 900, depending on what would be your general advice to homes and also to the government, because Nigerians are passing through hard times. Let's not lie. A lot of persons are wearing suits, but they are not smiling. Just like we're putting on suits right now. Everyone's smiling. So what would be your general advice to both the homes and the government at different levels?
Yeah, you know, one thing that is very, very important that we should take into cognizance is that with regards to homes, you know, some persons will say, if you are in Nigeria, you should cut down on your spending, you should cut down on this, on that. Yeah. But then again, how do you cut down on the feeding of your children? Okay,
absolutely.
You're saying
you can cut down your own feeding as a father.
Yes,
but for the children,
the basic thing that your child should take. Yeah. And then you are not saying that I'm going to give my child maybe just a spoon of rice. Do you want your child to die? So no matter how you are saying you should cut down, you should become economically, you know, savvy or all those kind of things. There are still some things that you cannot cut down on. Okay. For example, you put a gallon of fuel in your generator. Yeah. It's going to finish when it's going to finish.
Exactly. It must finish at that point in time.
If you even try to adjust the you will end up
spoiling the gen, and you will pay more to repair.
Or you are trying to save 200 naira, you will not.
You'll not pay 20,000 naira.
So you see that it doesn't balance at all.
Absolutely.
So what the government needs to do is to ensure that things are put in place and not just quotes and unquotes said to be put in place, but seen to be put in place. So that when these things are put in place, Nigerians can actually benefit from these things that are being put in place.
All right.
Also, parents who are, you know, who have kids in schools and those kind of things, they should try as much as possible to look inwardly and see what else they can do to make money outside their conventional jobs. Okay. You know, there are some, but then again, it is not, that's what I always say. In as much as we're advocating for diversification of the economy and those kind of things, and then also each person, each individual trying to see what he or she can do to make ends meet outside your conventional job. There are some persons who cannot actually do things outside their conventional job.
Exactly.
Imagine 2 of us now, we are here this morning.
This is the job.
So imagine later you tell somebody that, while you're on air, you should also be frying akara.
How does it correlate? It does not correlate.
There are some persons that cannot do 2 things.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not at the same time. We're not talking about 2 things at the same time. They cannot just do 2 things. You can imagine those who are manning the cameras.
You tell them to go and do that conventional job.
Manning the camera, you should also be selling pure water.
It doesn't go together.
Pure water, take pure water, then you are holding the camera. There are some things that cannot just work.
Absolutely, that's true. That's true.
They cannot just work. And besides, there are even some aspects of the economy which, with regards to law, there are some persons who cannot do 2 things
at the same time.
Yes. Okay. For example, doctors, lawyers, you know, lecturers in some aspects. You know, you cannot tell you. So there are some things that you cannot do apart from, in fact, what the constitution even states is that if you are employed in government, the only thing you can do is to maybe engage in agriculture. How many persons have the capital to go into agriculture? So these are the issues that we are facing in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Joshua Abolagba. Thank you for joining me on the show. Your thoughts are really appreciated. All right, that's Joshua Abolagba, a public affairs analyst and a legal practitioner, giving us insight into the current situation, fuel price, and how homes are being affected.